In this section, we're going to be exploring beyond the pentatonic scale. We'll be learning new scales, or modes as they're often referred to. And with these, we'll be enhancing our soloing capabilities. We can also play over any style of music, and we can use them with the pentatonic scales, or we can use them purely by themselves. Here's what they sound like. Here I'm giving the notes a Spanish feel. Now I'm combining them with pentatonics. And you can use them for runs. Or just simple melodies. This will have more of a jazz flavor to the scale. This is more of a jazz funk feel. We're now going to take a look at a piano keyboard to see how some of these scales are structured. It's much easier to visualize when you can see the notes literally in black and white. Let's take a look. The word scale literally means steps, like a step of notes or tones. And the start note and the end note are always the same. And in this case, there are 7 letter name notes from the alphabet given to describe the various notes. Here I've got C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. And I'm producing a major scale. Now, a scale will sound a particular way depending on how you order the notes in between the start note and the end note. Now, between any given note and the next can be either a semitone or a whole tone. So this is a whole tone, this is a semitone. In fact, there are 12 semitones. There's the 12th semitone before the first note, 1 octave higher, appears. So I have a C here and a C here with 12 semitones. So a tone is made up of 2 semitones from here to here is a semitone, from here to here is a tone. Now, a major scale, like the one I've just chosen to demonstrate, is made up of a tone from the first to second, and the second to third, but a semitone between the third and fourth. Then it continues on another tone, another tone, another tone, and finally a semitone between the seventh and eighth notes. Now, on the keyboard, that set of tones and semitones, when played in this particular key, the word key and scale really mean the same thing, played in the key of C, I use this pattern here. I'm not hitting any black notes at all, I'm hitting all white notes, because the tones and semitones line up exactly in the order they're supposed to make that scale sound the way it does. That is, with semitones between the third and fourth and seventh and eighth notes. But if I want that sound of that scale starting on a different note, for example on B, I can't just play all the white notes because the tones and semitones won't line up the right way. So in order to play a B major scale, and to preserve that order of tones and semitones, I have to play 5 black notes. Now the black notes on a keyboard are sharps and flats. Here we go again. So the point I'm trying to illustrate here is that some scales on the keyboard are much easier to play than others. Technically it was easy for me to play C because it was all white notes. But when I had to play B, it was rather difficult. I had to jump in between the white notes and the black notes as I went up the scale. Now on the guitar, when you learn a pattern for a particular scale, all you do is move that pattern to the appropriate fret and you have a different scale which works very easily for you. Much easier than on a keyboard. Let's take a look at the guitar. Now if I take the finger pattern on the guitar for a C scale, let's take that pattern there, that's the same scale that I played on the keyboard. If I want the B major scale, all I have to do is simply move my finger back to B and repeat the same pattern. It's really that easy. Of course, the frets, technically speaking, get wider as you go this way, but there's not much of a difference between the technique required to do that and the technique required to do that. Of course, when you look at the neck of the guitar, though, it's just a maze of frets. The notes don't jump out at you telling you what they are in terms of white notes and black notes, or where the sharps and flats are. But you can see, once you've learned a set of patterns, you simply move those patterns around for the scale that you want to play.